Hey guys, it's Nija. Okay, I was in the middle of rolling my hair up and I got this download. So I wonder if I can sit you guys somewhere while I tell you what I need to tell you. And this download I got was about, so you know how they always, like whenever it's election time, and this conversation is very important because it's election year. You know when it's around election time and you start getting those solicitors who call you and they're like, hey, who are you voting for in the 2020 election or the 2014 election or whatever, right? And they keep track of all the names of the people who have voted, who haven't voted, when's the last time you have voted. They're keeping track of that stuff because they want to intimidate you into continuing to be a part of this matrix. I was watching a video today. It was either by Quantum Sensei or by Amanda Flaker. I really love both those YouTubers, so you should check them out. But it was one of them, and they're basically saying that it's not about choosing a political side. It's not about choosing Democrat or Republican. It's not about choosing liberal or whatever. We don't need to be a part of any of it, okay? None of that is for us. It doesn't matter if black people created the Republican Party and now Democratic Party is ruled by, these satanic Luciferians. That doesn't matter because that is not a part of our organic natural coding, okay? These political system, the government, all this stuff, we don't need it, okay? So while we're, voting for, this is how we're really voting. You vote by putting your energy into it. The only reason why they really put an emphasis on you need to vote, because they need people to continue to participate in this game, this fake construct, because we know that the real power is in our consciousness, what we agree upon and what we decide that we're gonna do, right? So it's not really about which political side to go for or to vote for. And then some people might even say, well, why don't we just reform the entire party system? Why don't we just create a new party? Or why don't we just reform the systems that are already there? You guys, it gets extremely deep. You wouldn't be just taking down a political party. You'd be taking down infrastructures that our entire civilization is based upon, aka the health industry, currency, and our financial industry. It would affect, it would trickle down to so many things. So I said all this to say, I personally will not be participating. I will not be voting. I will not be bringing any of these random characters into office. And if you guys want to reclaim your power, I'm not going to say that you shouldn't vote, but I just want you to know it's not about which party you vote for, and it's not about who you vote for. You casting any vote at all is feeding the lack matrix, and you casting a vote is feeding this fake construct, and it's feeding this fake paradigm, and that's what's keeping it going. If all the conscious people, if everybody decided that they're not going to vote anymore and the voting rates completely plummet, then that's a sign to these elitists and to these people, these powers that be, that people don't want any part of this. We're not even participating. That's how you take yourself out of the lack matrix and move into the abundance matrix, by not participating, by not interacting, by not engaging. Another example is like on social media, like on Facebook, when your friends get into political debates and stuff like that, you can hop in and defend your favorite political leader, or you can just not care and not let it be a part of your reality. I think it was Young Pharaoh who was like, politics are white people celebrities, or politicians are celebrities for white people. I mean, I don't know, I'm not saying that, but I just think we don't need to be participating in it because we did not create this construct. And instead we need to be putting our energy and putting our focus into what we do want to create. The old system is corrupt and it runs deep. Let's get rid of it. It doesn't matter what party you are, Democrat or Republican. We didn't create that system. It was created by an oppressive, like years and years, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, okay? So let's just stop participating. Let's just stop interacting with these constructs. And that's how we're really going to be able to release ourselves, when we stop coexisting with these things, when we stop feeding them our attention and our energy. Okay, who cares if you love or if you hate Trump? Who cares if you love or if you hate anybody, you know, who is running for office, Obama or Bernie or whoever? Who cares? It doesn't matter, because we think that these guys are running the world or running the show, but they're not. We are. The people are. And you might be saying, well, how are we running the show? Because our consciousness and our consciousness is what fuels the system. They need energy to fuel the system. You guys have seen my video about which video was it? About the energy matrix, and how the matrix runs off of our energy. We are the batteries that keep the matrix running. If we stop putting our energy into these fake constructs, we can free ourselves, okay? So I hope that makes sense. Again, it's completely up to you whether you decide to vote or not. But as for me, I am completely removing myself from this entire fake structure. I'm removing myself. It's not a part of my reality. And you guys might be thinking, Naija, how can you say it's not a part of your reality? You do live in America. You do live, you know, like these things are happening whether you become aware of them or not. Exactly. It's all about perception. Some people are living a different experience than other people. And it's not that one experience is higher or lower than the other. It all has to be experienced. You get to choose what you're going to opt into. Abundance matrix, black matrix, okay? So I'm moving into the abundance matrix. I want no part in whatever, you know, this is. And yeah, one last thing. I did get a download today, and I wanted to make an entirely separate video for this, but I'll throw it in here, and then maybe we can elaborate on this later. My girlfriend and I actually, we're talking about how in a lot of the shows, they show you this dome. Okay, in The Simpsons, there was this dome that was over the town, a dome. Go back and watch the Simpsons movie. There was the movie where everyone's trapped inside of a dome, and it looks clear, right? Okay, another example, the show Utopia or Utopian on Hulu. Okay, again, there's like an inner city, and then they think in their head that there's nothing outside of their city. The government or the people in charge say, oh, there's nothing out there, there's no reason to go out there, you know. Meanwhile, they're in a little simulation, and outside is where the real world is happening. Okay, so there's lots of shows where this bubble is popping up, where there's like, I don't think it's a physical bubble. I think it's like, I don't know, I think they find a way to make borders. It could be an electronic border, you know, or electromagnetic border. I don't know. Another example, in the Hunger Games, how they make them fight in this dome arena that looks like an entire world, but it's not. It's just a dome. And then the last example is in Divergent, how everybody, you know, how all the sects were separate in their own places, but then there was like this no man's land where nobody goes outside of the outer walls. That's Divergent, right? That's Divergent. No one goes into the outer walls. So there is this talk about this divide, this separation, where there's going to be people who are inside the bubble and people outside the bubble. And I believe the people outside the bubble are going to be the conscious people, the people who have awoken, and the people who remove themselves from this matrix that is happening right now. The entire world is going to be reformed, and there's going to be a separation between the people who want to participate in the matrix and the people who don't want to participate in the matrix. If you guys have seen any more examples of what I'm talking about, this bubble, this dome that keeps popping up in media, we know when things pop up in the media, it's because it's actually true. They literally tell you everything in plain sight. And that's why I take it so seriously with The Simpsons, because they've predicted so many things. They've predicted the coronavirus. They've predicted major television networks coming together and collaborating on how they can falsify and fabricate stories. They have predicted, there's one that hasn't happened yet, but I have a theory about this one, and it's President Trump and Bernie Sanders getting their what is it called? They're wearing masks. They get it snatched off, and they're really aliens underneath. Yeah, you guys remember when they said we're going to see signs of aliens, or they're starting to roll out the signs of aliens, getting us used to aliens. People are about to start shape-shifting, okay? It's going to be real interesting. Another example is of George Floyd. They predicted it in the 1990s before it even happened. How? So yeah, I think it's a rule of the Matrix that they have to tell you these things in plain sight. Maybe because these are the scripts that they're running off of. They can't create stories that have never been, created before. So therefore, they're only grabbing, these movies are grabbing from things that are real in their reality or real in their perception. Okay, so that's again where these false timelines come in. How they try to create false timelines with predictive programming. This is a topic for an entirely different video. I won't go into it today, but I hope you guys enjoyed my little chit chat of ratchetivity because I have my rulers in. I'll be more presentable later. I was just, getting ready for bed and I got that download. Anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing night, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.